My name is Patrick Fortier. I'm the gameplay director on Deus Ex Mankind Divided. We're here at Gamescom 2015 to talk about the game.
So talk about what your goals were heading into this game.
We really wanted to explore the story of Adam Jensen a little bit further and actually consider the state of the world after the events of human revolution. So after, there was the AUG incident, it had tremendous impact on everybody in the world, and it just created this divide between naturals and augments. So we wanted to delve into that and also to relook at Adam again, where he's kind of like coming of his own, kind of embracing what he's become. The HR was all about, I've never asked for this, and it was the origin story. I got the augmentations put in, and now it's Adam looking for answers for himself and kind of driving the show a little bit and looking to investigate things further.
Talk a little about the world and how things have evolved in this game.
Well, what's going on right now is that because the augments got kind of hacked into their minds and started doing crazy stuff and killing each other and other people, there's just a lot of fear all around, and people are now afraid of people with augmentations. There's a lot of unrest. Governments have come in, and the whole dream of the cyber renaissance that was so alive in human revolution, where AUGs was the golden age of augmentations. Everybody was going to get them to do all kinds of things, sports, culture, whatever. Now that's kind of died away. People are afraid. Governments have stepped in, and then the laws are being put in, and segregation is starting to happen. You're getting like ghettos and like Gollum City that are being set up in locations that had different purposes before, where augmented people are being put in there, and they're just they're becoming like second-class citizens. And there's a lot of debate, social debate about that, whether that's right or not right, or how should we be proceeding about that. And that's basically like the state of the world that Jensen operates in when he comes in.
Speaking of that world, can you talk about the level design and that aspect of what people will be exploring?
Well, for Mankind Divided, we developed some new technology. So we have the Dawn engine, so that we started developing for the next-gen consoles, and that's allowed us to look at our hubs and our level design techniques and expand a little bit on it. So we have a lot of more verticality in Mankind Divided. We've refined some of the ways that we create the levels in terms of creating like these kind of 360-degree areas that you can come in, from the top, the bottom, the side, and they're integrated sometimes even within the larger hubs that we have, and with more NPCs and everything that comes with it.
From a gameplay perspective, how are you guys pushing things forward?
One of the things we really wanted to work on was the combat pillar. We're articulated around these 4 pillars: stealth, combat, hacking, and social interactions. We really liked what was done with the stealth in Human Revolution, but combat was a little bit not up to par, we felt. And since Deus Ex is fundamentally about choice and consequence, if you want to offer true choice, then you need to give viable options to players. So we've worked on that and refined some of the controls that will be maybe a little bit more familiar to players that aren't so familiar with the franchise and come maybe from more traditional FPS franchises. Will be a little bit more familiar when they pick up the controller and have the iron sights and some of those controls, and bullet distribution and things like that, and general balancing of the game. It's been really important for us to improve that side of things.
How are you guys pushing forward the whole concept of choice and consequence once it comes to the character of Adam?
What we're doing is we're putting a lot more of that throughout the whole story. So it's not just like these big left and right choices at specific moments in the game, although there are some of those things, but it's a lot of little choices throughout the whole adventure. So conversations that you may choose to have or not to have with certain characters, then in the process they might ask you to do something. Do you decide to do it? Do you not do it? How do you do it? That might turn out later on and then open up another possibility, and then you start chaining all these little things together, and suddenly you find yourself equipped with the means to do something particular, you know, in the end game scenario. So suddenly, if you tie it all back to the beginning, you realize that a choice you made maybe in the very first hour of gameplay has actually led to your ability to be available to one of the different endings of the game right at the end of the game.